From your child's pose, start to feel into your body. Reflect on the incredible nature and vibrancy from the bones to the muscles, to the tendons and ligaments, to the vital organs, to the incredible computer of the brain, the eyes. Just let yourself be in awe of the complexity and beauty of your body. So today, as we move, I'll set the intention to choose joy. You don't have to be on the other side of your problems to choose joy. Be so full of gratitude, it comes pouring out. Maybe you're compelled to reach out to someone and tell them how grateful you are for their presence in your life. Go outside, walk. Be like a mouse and notice the small things, the even smaller things that hold joy for you. A noise, a smell, a look, a laugh, a flower, a passing cloud. Remember, life is like the ocean. It is constantly moving. Sometimes joy will wash over you. Sometimes it will retreat. It is okay. Let go of others' expectations and timeframes. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. It is your timeline, and nothing is off schedule. You are not late. Remove the word should from your vocabulary. In the French language, should doesn't exist. Would, did, didn't, that's it. No should. Choose you every damn day. Go forward with the attitude that your peace, health, and heart mean more than getting everything done. Choose to embrace a simple life. We tend to believe that complex is better. Reconsider this. Choose to embrace imperfection. Remember, the cracks are how the light gets in. Whenever you can, choose this moment right here and be fully present. The presence is the gift. Don't miss it. From your child's pose, take a big breath. And start to come up to hands and knees. Take your time. Turn your fingertips out to the edges of the mat and begin to rock the weight side to side. Out to the right fingers, out to the left fingers, deepening the wrist creases, challenging the flexibility in the forearms. Press into the fingertips, activate your hands. Be in awe of the complexity of the machine of the human hand. Consider your own vibrancy from your fingertips to your wrists. Turn your fingertips now to face your knees. If that's too intense for you, just go a little bit of the way. Maybe they're still turned out toward the sides a little bit. Stay right here if this is a big enough opening for you, or shift your hips back slightly to lengthen the flexors in the forearms. Breathe. Be in awe of the complexity of the machine of the arms, the elbows, and the shoulders. Experience vibrancy from the inside out. Release, turn your fingertips back to face the top of the mat. Tuck your toes underneath you. And feel free to stay here in control of how much weight you're going to put on your heels. Or go ahead and take your shoulders over the hips and release your weight down so that you experience some opening in the soles of the feet. If you need to reach back and tuck your toes under, if the baby toes didn't go on their own, feel free. Intense toe stretch lives up to its name, right? Fabulous daily practice, this intense toe stretch. It opens the whole back line of the body, the whole connective tissue line of the back of the body. Stay for one more breath. Full exhale, empty the lungs. Release, come onto hands and knees and tap out the feet. When you're ready, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Feel as though you've arrived in your body. Take a trip through the spine, the ribs, the sides, the hips, the backs of the legs, all the way down to the ankles, and return to your toes. Vibrancy from the inside out, choosing this moment, choosing the path of joy. If you need to bend your knees, please do. Take 3 full breaths here. Claw with your fingers, broaden your shoulders, lift your ribs, release your neck. Last breath. On the exhale, wave forward, nice and slow to the top of a push-up. Feel free to release your knees to the mat or begin to Chaturanga, bend the elbows, holding the full position. All the way to the mat, hands are next to ribs, squeeze the elbows in, squeeze the inner thighs, press firmly into the top of the feet, and peel the heart off the mat, finding your version of Cobra. Make sure that the index finger of both hands is engaged in the mat. Draw the elbows in toward the body. Make space between the earlobes and the shoulders. Press more firmly into the top of the feet. Take a big breath in. Slowly exhale as you release to the mat. Shift back intentionally, tuck toes, lift hips. Arrive in your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg floats up behind you. Flex the foot, spread the toes. Lift from the inner thigh. Keep your hips square and press firmly into both hands. If you're holding tension in the neck or face, soften. Inhale. Point your right toe. Come onto the ball of your standing foot. Bend your right knee. Pull it deep into the belly. Really hug it in tight. Shift forward like plank. Shoulders are over wrists. Press the floor away. Move the shoulder blades away from each other. Flex your right foot and step it between your thumbs. Find yourself in a lunge position, right hip drawing back in space. Lift the belly. Activate your left quadriceps, front of the leg. It's almost like you're lifting the kneecap. The fingertips are light on the mat. Lengthen the back of the neck. Take 3 full breaths here. Try and match the length of your inhale to your exhale. Last full breath in and full breath out. On the exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Arrive in your dog with intention. In this present moment, experience your own vibrancy, strength. Inhale, left leg lifts. Spread the toes, flex the foot. It's like you're reaching through the heel and the ball of the foot. Square your hips, so if your left hip wants to come up higher than your right, drop down and lift from the inner thigh. Press firmly into both hands. Now point your left toe. Press into your right foot to make more space under your body. Bend the knee, pull it tight into the belly. Really engage, pull that thigh close to the belly. Shift forward, shoulders over wrists. Press the floor away. Flex your left foot and step through. Inhale to fingertips. 3 rounds of breath here. Activate your right quadriceps. It's almost like lifting the knee. You can send weight through that right heel to lengthen the spine. Last full breath in. On the exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Wave forward to plank. Side plank, left side first. If you'd like to bring your left knee down for support, go for it. Or take the full version of the pose. Maybe stacking feet, right arm over left. Strong left hand presses the floor away. Belly pulls in. Ribs pull in. Take your right hand down to the mat. Plank. Roll to the right. If you want to bring your right knee to the mat for support, go for it. Or take the full pose. Left arm stacking over right. Eyes wide open. Belly pulls in. If your body is shaking, that's you getting stronger. Feel the vibrancy from the inside out. Roll back to center. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. We'll meet at the top of the mat. If you'd like to hop, go ahead and bend your knees. Look forward at the space between your thumbs and land as lightly as possible. If you want to tiptoe or step, go for it. Inhale to halfway lengthen when you arrive. And exhale to bow deep. Release the head. Knees can be as soft as you need them to be. Lift the pelvic floor. Draw the chin in toward the throat. Inhale to halfway lift. Long spine. Take your hands now to your hips and hinge the stance. From the top of the mat, sun salutations. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Palms touch, reach up, look up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, right foot shoots back. Inhale, light on the fingertips. Exhale, step to downward facing dog, arrive. Inhale, wave forward to plank. Lower your way if you want to use the knees. Inhale to a cobra or an up dog. Maybe the thighs are floating. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg floats. Exhale, bend the knee. This mindful step through that we practiced a moment ago. Foot between the thumbs. Inhale here. Exhale, step forward to fold. Inhale to halfway lengthen. Exhale to pour forward. Soften the knees. Inhale, wide sweep to the top. Root down through the feet to rise up tall. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot shoots back. Inhale here. Exhale, step to downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward to plank. Exhale, lower your way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, arrive in downward facing dog. Preparing for the step through. Inhale, lift the left leg, make space under your body. Exhale, bend the knee, pull it tight in, and step your foot between your thumbs. Inhale to fingertips. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale to halfway lengthen. Exhale to bow. Soften the knees. Inhale, big sweep to the top. Palms touch, reach up, look up, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer, bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, left elbow outside of the right knee. Left hip draws back. Now, the feet placement in this pose can vary depending on the body. So if you want your big toes touching, heels slightly slivered apart, that's fine. You can have them farther apart, more under the knees. If you have them close together, you might get this twist a little more completely. Left hip draws back in space. Your knees should be lined up with one another. Gaze at the fingertips or up over the shoulder. An option would be to open the arms. Taking left fingertips down, right hand up. Sink lower. Release, come back to center, keeps the hips low. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, twist the other way. Right elbow, left knee. Long spine, right hip draws back. That'll place the knees right in alignment with each other. Once you find the pose, maybe today you feel like opening the arms. Inhale back to center and exhale, bow. Inhale to a flat back position. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot shoots back. Inhale, lift the arms. Airplane wings. Exhale, arms slide forward, shoulders over hips. Belly pulls in. Inhale as you reach up high. And exhale, settle into the pose. Big breath. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward to plank. Exhale, lower your way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg floats. Exhale, mindful step through. Inhale to fingertips. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to bow deeply. Soften your knees. Inhale, root down to rise up. Palms touch, reach up, look up, maybe a back bend. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot shoots back. Inhale, lift. Airplane wings. Exhale, arms glide forward, shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach up high, and exhale, enjoy the pose. Vibrate from the inside out, big breath. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower your way. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And exhale, arrive in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg floats. Exhale, mindful step through. Inhale to fingertips. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow deeply. Root down to rise. Inhale, sweep all the way to the top. Palms touch, reach up, look up, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, glide your hands to the center of your chest, bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, twist, left elbow outside the right knee. Lining your knees up, left hip draws back. Sink low and lengthen your spine. Stay here or open the arms. You could send your gaze up to that top thumb. Keep drawing your left hip back. If the open arms don't work for you today, just go back to prayer hands. Unwind, come back to center, keep the hips low, lift the elbows. On your exhale, right elbow, left knee. Right hip draws back. Long spine. Open the arms if you did on the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale to fold. Walk your feet back, find your downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Experiencing vibrancy and health in the body with intention, allows us to experience a type of joy that is really rooted in the present. Because it's not about plans in the future. It's not about a memory of the past. It's in our physical body when we experience vibrancy from the inside out. Shift forward to plank. Side plank, left side first. Again, left knee can come down or go ahead and find the full pose. This time, if you'd like to take some variation, maybe you could bend the knee, hold on to it with your right hand, flex the foot. Just an option. Roll back to center. Pause, take the other side. Right hand, right knee down maybe, or maybe you're going for the lifted knee. Flex the foot, open the heart. Release back to center, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, pull it tight in, and step your foot between your thumbs. Inhale to airplane wings. Find yourself solid and strong in the pose, and we're going to launch into a flying warrior three. So bring your chest forward first, start to let your back toes be light, and launch. Keeping a bend in your right knee at first can be really helpful. As you start to find your balance, flex your back foot, spread your toes, maybe straighten into that right leg. Spread the fingers far apart, lengthen the neck. Start to bend your lifted leg. Bring your hip in line with your knee in front of you. Take your arms overhead. Glide your hands down to your shoulders and press the hands out as you straighten the legs, spread the toes. Tipping back in, reach forward with the palms. Pause in the warrior three shape. Slowly step your left toes to the mat. Airplane wings, big breath. Hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Opportunity to rest or move in any way you like. If you have inversions you're practicing, you could do that now. You could go into a child's pose. Take water or move with me. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, meeting in the downward facing dog for 3 full inhales and exhales. Experiencing the heat in the body lets you know you're alive. Experiencing the muscles activating, shaking, maybe even giving you a little signal of discomfort. That is the vibrancy of being alive. We'll all meet in the dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, mindful step through. Back heel stays high, airplane wings. Feel the open front body as you reach back with the fingertips. Settle in. Prepare to launch. So this is kind of like metaphor for launching forward into choosing joy, right? So send the heart forward and then go ahead and lift off. Lift that back leg. Reach through the fingers. If you're crowding your ears with your shoulders, make space. Lengthen the neck. Press into your standing leg. You have a little more space in the leg. Bend your right leg. Bring it in front of the body. Line it up with the hip. Arms overhead. Hands come to shoulders. Fingers spread wide. Push with the foot and hands. Tip. Keep your hands reaching out in front of you. Reach your right leg back behind. Set your right toes down. Inhale, open, airplane wings. Exhale, hands to the mat. Downward facing dog. Again, this is your time. If you would like to move through Vinyasa, I'll lead you through that. You choose what's right for you right now. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. We'll all meet in the dog. No rush. From the dog, inhale, shift forward to plank. Left side plank, your variation. This time we're going to work with the arm. So if you brought the left knee down, that's fine. I'm going to take the right hand and reach it underneath the left rib cage. So you're rolling your right shoulder down. Inhale and open. And exhale, plank position. Right hand, knee down if you prefer. Left arm reaches. Once you get settled in your choice of pose, take this left arm, you make a circle under the body. So you're rotating your torso toward the mat, reaching left fingertips underneath the right rib cage. Open up and come back to plank. Shift the hips back, downward facing dog, breathe. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, mindful step through. Back heel is high, inhale, airplane wings. Launching forward into our flying warrior 3 pose. Just letting this pose for you today in this practice embody what it feels like to launch into choosing joy in your life. So send the chest forward, pour the weight into the foot, launch, lift. See if you can experience some lightness, even though this is hard work. Press into your standing leg. A bent knee will make it a little more accessible, which is fine. Make space between your shoulders and ears. Spread the fingers. It's like pinkies away from thumbs. Active. Foot and hands. Bend your lifted leg. Bring it in front of the hip. Arms reach up. Glide into the shoulders and press. Tip. Keep reaching with your palms. Left leg back behind you. Slowly bend your standing leg and set your toes on the mat. Inhale to open, airplane wings. Hands to the mat, left hand down, right arm up. Easy open twist, helping you adjust to get more out of the shape. Let the breath move nice and easy. We're going to step back to a half side plank. So your right leg is only going to step back halfway. Roll to the pinky edge of your back foot and stay here for a breath. Now for those of you that want to stay here, that's fine. Or maybe step all the way back. Right hand is going to take the same pattern, reach underneath the left rib cage. Open up and roll all the way to plank and then downward facing dog. Opportunity to rest or move with me. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. It is humid and hot today. Feels a bit sticky. Lets you know you're alive. Revel in this experience of sweaty, hot, shaky muscles. When you're ready, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee, step it through. Back heel is high, find your airplane wings. You know where we're going. We're going to launch forward into choosing the things that bring us happiness. Remember that saying in the beginning, you don't have to be on the other side of your problems to experience joy. Tip forward and launch. Find some lightness. Press into your standing leg. Spread the palms. How can you adapt this shape to get more out of it? Bend your lifted leg, bring it forward. Arms come straight up. Hands by the shoulders, spread the palms. Push. Tip. Keep reaching with the palms. Right leg behind you. Start to bend your left leg. Set your right toes down and open the heart. Airplane wings. Hands to the mat. Right hand stays. Left arm lifts. Easy open twist. Stepping back halfway. So left foot steps halfway. Roll to the pinky edge of your right foot and stay here. You could still do the next exercise if this is where you're going to stay. Or maybe step all the way back. Side plank, take your time. And then take those fingers under the ribs. Roll your shoulders square to the mat. And then open. High plank, down dog, rest or move. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower your way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog for 3 breaths. Or wherever you are, take your time. One of my favorite things that I've been experiencing in my Thursday live class is at that moment where I get to say, rest or move in any way you like. I get this experience of getting to see what it is in people's bodies that is looking to come out. I love to see people go into child's pose. I love to see people take their headstand or whatever organic movement happens. It's one of my favorite moments in teaching. From the downward facing dog, bend your knees. Look forward at the space between your thumbs, scratching cat. Stay here in your cat, lengthen your spine, so press out of your hands. If you'd rather tiptoe or step to the top of the mat, go for it. Or maybe you're going to do a couple bounces and land lightly. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bow. Soften the knees. Inhale, big sweep to the top. Palms at the center of the chest. Just stand a moment, let the eyes drop closed. Experience this new position. We've been down close to the mat for a while. So rooting through the feet, standing up tall, belly pulling in, honoring the body from the toes to the top of the head. Go ahead and bring your hands now to your shoulders. Shift the weight into your left leg. Float your right knee up. Press the foot out. Press the hands out. Go ahead and tip. Press with the fingers, or the palms rather. Spread the toes. Press into your standing foot to stabilize. And then can you turn this into the flying warrior? Open the chest. Spread the fingers. Lengthen the neck. Bend your standing legs, let your toes down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right hand down, left arm up. Step back halfway or step back all the way. Remember to be on the pinky edge of your right leg. When you're ready, take the fingertips under, rolling the chest toward the floor, and then open. Go ahead and find your high plank. An option, hold the plank. You could be on your knees or just lift your right leg. With right leg lifted, shift back to 3-legged dog. Stay here if you like, or move through a 3-legged vinyasa, just an option. You could stay here. You could rest if you wanted in child, or move with me with that right leg lifted, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Now release the leg. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe, rest, water. Handstand if you're after it. And then we'll go ahead and hop to the top of the mat or step. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to bow. Soften the knees, big sweep to the top. Palms touch, hands at the center of the chest. Stand for a moment and honor the shape of the standing position. Simple yet miraculous, really. The incredible machine of the body keeping you upright, stabilizing the spine, holding the weight of the heavy head. Go ahead and shift your weight now into your right foot. Float your left leg. Hands to the shoulders, spread the fingers. Push. Really push. Spread those toes. And tip, keep reaching through the palms, spread your fingers. Look at the space between your thumbs. Press into your standing leg. Can you find your flying warrior? Open up. It's that choice right there, right? You're either pushing against joy or you're opening yourself up to it. Lengthen the neck. Start to bend your right leg. Set your left toes down. Inhale with a big breath, arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, left hand down, right arm reaches. And we're gonna step halfway or all the way. You can do it in two parts, halfway and then all the way, or you can step all the way back in one fluid motion if you want, or keep your leg bent. Taking this little twist of the torso, right hands dive under, right fingertips dive under, and then open. High plank. Downward facing dog. Come back to plank, lift your left leg if you're coming along for this. And we'll take the three-legged vinyasa, or however you want to move. Be child's pose if you prefer. From plank with left leg lifted, lower, release the leg now. Cobra or up dog, and down dog. Full rounds of breath. We're going to walk or hop to the top of the mat. You can choose. Find your seat and lower all the way onto your back. Take your time. Knees are bent. We're going to come into a bridge pose. Walk your feet back towards your hips. They should be lined up with your hips. Feel the joy of the body resting on the mat, right? And then we're going to get active here in a moment. So go ahead and draw your pubic bone to your belly button. Start to press into the feet, really intentional lift of the hips. And then you can feel with your fingertips, is one hip bone lifted higher than the other? Work to balance them. Most of us have a one-side dominance issue, and this is a great place to see it. Is your pelvis a little twisted when you press into both feet? See if you can straighten it out. Lift a little higher. Tuck your shoulders underneath you, interlace your fingers. If the fingers don't interlace, just press with palms or fists. Really get your shoulder blades close together under your upper back, behind the heart. Lift higher, lift the chest, lift the chin. So you can try and open the throat. Breathe here, 5 breaths. Last breath, make it big. And then slowly release the hands and lower all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Engage to lift the toes straight up toward the ceiling. Zip the inner thighs together, zip the calves together. Bring your legs as close together as possible. Bring your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers so that the thumbs are just at the occipital ridge, right where the skull meets the neck. Put your elbows forward. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, lift your head and shoulders off the mat, and then press your head back to lift your chin a little bit. So you're really intentionally pressing the head into the hands, and the elbows reach forward. If your chin is tucked toward your throat, lift it up a little. Stay here if you like, or lower the legs a third of the way. Keep pressing the low back into the mat. If the legs are lowered, lift. Try and reach your toes up for the ceiling. So you're lifting your low back just a little bit, and then lower again a third of the way. Now you could stay still with a core engagement if the movement is too much. Lift the elbows, press the head back, press the belly down, and then bring the legs up and lift the tail. You probably can't even see it with the naked eye, but you can feel it. Lift the toes toward the ceiling. And then release the head and hug the knees. Transverse Abdominis. Release your feet to the mat. So what we're going to be working here is the muscle that runs from hip bone to hip bone. It's actually a super important muscle for building into inversions. You have to have that low belly stability to prevent the low back from arching, which will have you fall out of an inversion. So it's very important for stability in general, and really great if you have low back pain. Go ahead and take the knees over the hips, flex the feet, and the feet should come straight out from the knees. Notice if your back arched, it probably did. Activate to lengthen it toward the mat. Take your palms and press firmly into the thighs, and then press back. And make sure when you press back, when you find that isometric pressing, the palms are pressing, the thighs are pressing, it should press your belly down. We're gonna do this with breath. Inhale, you can arch the back. Exhale, press palms and thighs together, belly to the mat. 4 more times. Inhale, exhale, engage. Big ha sound out of the mouth. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Belly pressing toward the floor. Inhale and exhale. Release. Bridge pose again. Press into your feet. Start to lift the hips off the mat. Draw your pubic bone to your belly button to engage that low belly. And let the hips move up. Again, you can check. Sometimes I check and my right hip is like 2 inches lower than my left. So work to press evenly to line your hip points up. Go ahead and walk your shoulders underneath you when you're ready. Shoulder blades are as close together as they've ever been. Press with palms or interlaced fingers. Lift the belly, lift the sternum, lift the chest. Now lift the chin. This means pushing the head back into the mat. This is very therapeutic for the neck. 5 breaths here. Last breath. With your exhale, slowly release and hug your knees into your chest. Just give yourself a moment, hugging the knees in nice and tight. And then we'll move back to some core work. Extend your legs up. Again, we'll be moving here. If you'd rather stay static and hold the core engagement at whatever point works for your body, you know, you're always building from where you are. We're always working from where we are. It's like that piece that I read in the beginning, no one else's timeline, right? You're not late, you're right where you should be, so work with what you came with today. Toes up, hands behind the head. Take a big breath in. Exhale, belly down, lift the head and shoulders. Press your head back into the hands and keep reaching for your toes with your elbows. And maybe this is enough. This is quite a lot of work. If you're going to move with me, lower the left leg, keep the right leg reaching tall, and you're going to hover a pointed toe, active leg. Inhale, exhale, switch legs. Hover. Inhale, exhale, switch legs. Hover. Inhale, exhale, switch legs. Inhale, exhale, switch legs. Lift your shoulders a little higher. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Last one, lift your elbows a little higher and inhale, exhale, switch. Float both legs up. Can you lift your tail a little bit? Deep core engagement. And release. Feet to the floor. So this time in our bridge pose, we are going to lift one leg if you want. So again, stay with what works. Feet walk back toward the hips, arms long by the body. Your feet are so close that maybe if you wanted to, you could touch the back of your heels with your middle finger. Draw your pubic bone to your belly button. Just feel that little engagement. Now press into the feet evenly and lift the hips. Check them out. Are they more or less even? Now go ahead and walk the shoulders underneath you. Find your bridge pose. If staying here feels like your edge today, then stay with that. Or start to activate through your left foot and bring your right knee in. Point your right toes up. You can stay here or start to lower and push. 5 of these, so 4 more. Lower and push, lower and push, lower and push. Last one, lower and push, hold, release with control, and lower all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. Other side, plant your feet. If you're gonna hold bridge, or lift the leg. Go ahead and activate pubic bone to belly button. Float the hips up. Walk your hands and shoulders deep underneath you. That should give you a nice, good base. Stay here or start to activate into the whole right foot. Bend your left knee. Bring it in. Point the toe. So you could stay here or you could take 5 lift and lowers. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. A little backwards, but you know what I'm talking about. Keep lowering the hips and lift. 2 more. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Hold and release. Give a good lift to both hips and then lower down, hug your knees. We'll go ahead and take a happy baby pose. So you could either take happy baby or baby dead bug, which always makes me laugh. We'll take the hands to the pinky edge of the feet and the knees are on the inside of the arms. So that's your baby dead bug. See if you like that. If you want, you can let the knees open up to the outside of the arms, pulling down with the fingers and pressing up to activate. So this is not a non-active pose. There's isometrics involved here. You're pressing feet up and pulling down. Shoulders are driving into the mat. Make sure you're not using muscles in the face to accomplish this. Slowly release from your pose. Bring your knees together. Take your hands behind the knees and just begin to rock. Maybe 2 or 3 rocks on the spine. And then eventually cross the ankles, plant the hands, walk back, downward facing dog. Pause in your dog. Just feel the length of the sides of the body. Checking the time here. And pull the belly in, pull the ribs in. Really arrive in your dog. Inhale, take your right leg up behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, pull it tight into the belly, shift forward so the knee comes to the wrist. So this is not a step through, this is knee to right wrist. So we're going to find a pigeon pose. For those of you who pigeon doesn't feel awesome, either today or always, you can let your right hip fall to the mat, bend your left knee, and you're kind of in a Z seat, and you're just going to fold over the right shin. So that might be a little more available. Otherwise, you can square your hips. Your right heel is back by the groin, left leg walks behind you. Maybe stack the hands and bow the head. So just enjoy whatever shape has unfolded in your body. Again, we started our practice in a coming in, a forward fold. Any forward fold is an opportunity for us to go within our self. So returning to that, go within. As we come out of this shape, take your time. We're just going to bring that left leg around. So drag it up the mat. And we're going to take a spinal twist. So this left leg will cross over the right. If you find that your left hip is going to pop up off the mat, you're just going to straighten your right leg. So to clarify, left leg is going to come from behind you, cross over the right leg, either with a straight right leg that you're going to unfold, or you're going to keep it bent. You want to find your sits bones. So if when that happens, your left hip draws up off the mat a bit, you might kind of even use your hands to find both hips on the mat. If it's just not happening, it's very important that you're going to straighten that right leg. We want to keep the SI joints nice and even in a twist. So go ahead and find your shape. Press your left foot into the mat. Activate your right foot, whether it's in front of you or back by your hip. Inhale, both arms overhead. And exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So this is right elbow outside of the knee. You can also hold the knee if you prefer. Maybe the elbow comes outside. Left hand behind the spine, press into the floor to lengthen through the crown. Let's take the Mudra of Wisdom with the right hand. The thumb and forefinger will touch. Spread the fingers, take a big breath in, and exhale, twist. Really open the shoulder. So more than twisting through the neck, even though you certainly can twist into the neck, see if you can twist through the back of the heart first. So opening shoulder and then adding head. Every inhale, we get taller. Every exhale, we deepen. Every inhale, we get taller. Every exhale, we deepen. Every inhale, we get taller. Every exhale, we deepen. Unwind. Cross your ankles, plant your hands, walk back downward facing dog. Arrive in the shape. So a lot of times, you've heard me say arrive in your dog repeated times in the class today. Often the downward dog is kind of a passing through pose. And I really want you to feel it because there's so much benefit here. And I want you to consider, as part of this intention of joy, to stop, drop, and down dog throughout your day. Not only will it make people around you laugh, but it will make you feel better. Kids love it. They're like, what are you doing? I don't know if my kids love it, they think I'm nuts. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, bend the knee, pull it up to the left wrist. Find your shape. So again, let your left hip come over, bend your right knee, find the Z shape with the legs, holding over the shin. Totally fine. Or square your hips, right leg reaches back, and go ahead and stack the hands and rest the head. Come in to yourself. The body is like a child. It believes what the mind tells it. It's its only master, right? The mind is the only master of the body. So when we experience with intention vibrancy from the inside out, when we see ourselves as lit up, healthy, strong, immaculate, the body says, oh, okay, that's us. When we have negative loop thoughts about a body or a body part, an injury, or something that we return to with less than approval, the body hears that too. So experience vibrancy from the inside out. It is much more powerful than we can imagine. Slowly come up. And we're going to drag that right leg from behind. Make this transition slow and intentional. Take that right leg and bring it to the outside of the left leg. Find your sits bones. If you need to use your hands, get your both hips anchored to the ground. If that's not happening, straighten your left leg and flex the foot. Great benefit no matter what. So no need to push into anything that doesn't work for your SI joints. They're kind of a tender area, the joints between your sacrum and the iliac. So we always want to keep square hips in a twist. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, left elbow outside the knee, right hand behind the spine. Press into the hand to lengthen through the crown. Let's take the Mudra of Wisdom, the thumb and index finger press. And look over your right shoulder. Use your breath to find space and depth. Open the shoulder. Let the head follow. Last breath here. Tall and deep. Unwind. Plant your feet on the mat. Sit up tall. We're going to cat-cow before we find our Shavasana. So knees are bent. You're holding onto your shins. Pull into the shins to draw the chest between the legs. Lift the chin. Big breath. Exhale, round. Tuck your chin in. Really round the back, pull the belly in. 2 more times. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Keep this rounded shape. You can even hold on to your legs and just let this rounded shape deliver you to Shavasana. Lengthen the legs, tuck the shoulders under the heart. If you need support under your knees or anywhere else, take care of those needs. Let the eyes close, let the jaw soften. Let the breath be full. I'm just going to reread our little list of ways to intentionally seek joy as we end our practice today. You don't have to be on the other side of your problems to choose joy. Be so full of gratitude, it comes pouring out of you. Reach out to someone and tell them how grateful you are for their presence in your life. Go outside and walk. That's it. Do it. Be like a mouse and notice the small things, the even smaller things that hold joy for you. A noise, a smell, a look, a laugh, a flower, a passing cloud. Remember, life is like the ocean. It is constantly moving. Sometimes joy will wash over you, and sometimes it will retreat. It's okay. Let go of others' expectations and timeframes. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. It is your timeline, and nothing is off schedule. Remove the word should from your vocabulary. In the French language, should does not exist. Would, did, didn't, that's it. Choose you every damn day. Go forward with the attitude that your peace, your health, your heart mean more than getting everything else done. I'm going to read that one again. Choose you every damn day. Go forward with the attitude that your peace, your health, your heart mean more than getting everything else done. Choose to embrace a simple life. We tend to believe that complex is better. Reconsider. Choose to embrace imperfection. Remember, the cracks are how the light gets in. Whenever you can, choose to be right here, right now. The presence is the gift. Don't miss it. When you're ready, draw your knees into your chest. Bring your awareness back into your body. As you make your way onto your right side, experience this vibrancy from the inside out. I don't know what it looks like for you, but think of the cells in their most prime way. They're glowing, they're vibrant, they're healthy, they're bursting with energy. In gratitude, press to a comfortable seat when you're ready. the hands come to prayer position. Line your wrists up with your elbows and press the palms together. Sit up tall. And take a deep breath in together. On the exhale, bow your forehead toward your fingertips. Slide your thumbs to the center of your forehead and we'll bow as one. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Seems as though I didn't lose video today, so that's great. I'm going to end the recording, but if anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to share. This class will be